Hello, welcome back to my channel. How are you? How are you doing? So today I'm doing something in a bit of a reverse. And what I mean is that normally I'll do a book review on Friday and then I do the other one on Monday. But I read this book recently and the topic, well, not the topic, but what it speaks about, what the whole book is about, in my own opinion, is something that is very relevant today. And I just thought I'll talk about it today and as it affects the society. And on Friday, I'll do a review on another book. So welcome to Coffee with Temmi. How are you? I need my coffee, hey. And how are you doing? So the book that I read is The End of Innocence. It's by Moni Mohsin. She's a British Pakistani writer, and the book is set actually in the 1970s, 60s, 70s. And so the book is about two girls. Mainly it's about two girls, but there's so many stories in this book. It's two girls who became friends as young as only the young can be without any prejudice. One is a granddaughter of a servant. The other is a granddaughter of the madame, the matriarch of this family. And they became friends, and in the naivety, there's a way only the young can be naive, because they don't even see things in black and white. I think they just see things in white. So it revolves around what happens to the granddaughter of the servant, but because of the actions of the granddaughter of the madame, all things become, they just unravel. Also in this book, we've got two other things that make a connection with me, which is why I said I'll talk about it today. So there is a father with this is the book. This is the book. Okay. So there is the father with 5 girls that he thinks, oh my God, this is it, woe is me, what am I going to do kind of thing. But for him, at least the way he sees it, fortunately, 4 of them are very beautiful and he sees himself getting really nice, really good dowry on them. But the 5th one, according to me, is ugly. So ugly, he calls her cowpot. And because he doesn't think he can get any value from her, he sends her to become a nun, sends her away from the family to become a nun. That's one. There's a scene in the book where servants, and I say this with a bold face, they really are servants. The way they are treated, the way it's written in the book, there's nothing about helper, they're just servants in the house. And in the kitchen, there are 3 people having a conversation. And one of them talks about how he used to slap his wife because she just, she wasn't listening, she was stubborn and all of that. And he had to slap her for her to see sense, to see his way of things. And he says this in public, not in a shamefaced way of, I'm a wife beater, but just like he needed to correct her. And it was condoned. It was even agreed that, yes, some women needed to be slapped like that. And because she was a good woman, says the husband, because she was a good woman, he didn't need to slap her too much. Now, they're talking about someone else who was beating his wife so badly, she's trying to use a scarf and makeup to cover the bruises on her face. And this was accepted, that you could slap the woman just a little bit for her to see sense. So this one that they're talking about, that it was drunk, right? Or he was a drunk. No, that wasn't. He was a drunk. He was poor. He worked in a factory, and he was still beating his wife. There was nothing about him there was nothing to write home about him. So we've got all these people, and I thought, wow, this is females being treated inhumanly. It wasn't just gender-based violence, which it is. It's domestic violence, it's gender-based violence, but it's really about females not being treated properly. But the main story is about this girl, this teenager, and a young friend who was 8, 9 when this happened. And she, again, just be naive, honestly, just be naive. So this young servant granddaughter is seduced by the first person that shows her any kind of love, any kind of attention that she wanted. She didn't get it from her family. She was friends with our boss's grandchildren, but it was still different. So this was a boy. Again, even according to the book, if she had looked closely, she would have seen that really there was nothing to write home about also in him. But she wanted love. She loved, Indian movie and all that romance thing. And for her, everything was new. She wanted more than what she was exposed to. She wanted to see the world. She wanted love. She wanted to escape a situation in life, so to say. So she fell for this boy and things progressed from there. The worst part of it was when it was found out, or rather when she found out, when things went south. Nobody knew about the affair. Nobody knew what this boy was. Anyway, things went south, and she didn't have anybody to talk to. She didn't know where to turn. She couldn't do anything about our situation. And all she could think of was that she had dishonored the family, by being with this boy, she had dishonored the family. So the madam's son wanted to get justice for this girl. She's already been violated, and the culprit had been found. So why on earth will they just not leave it? And the grandmother said, no. We don't want that. Please leave it alone. There'll be nothing like that. Because by bringing all this out, sort of washing the dirty linen in public, you're going to bring more dishonor to the family. Everybody will then know what happened. And it was disconnecting for me. Like, what are you talking about? And she said, it's the rich that wants justice, that the poor just don't want to be dishonored. And I thought, how can the life of this girl mean so little that the honor of the family was more important? And what this book is about happens all the time. When we talk about gender-based violence, if we don't live in that kind of society, we talk about it when there's when someone has been raped, when the wife beat her, because for me, domestic violence is also gender-based violence. And I'm sorry, I know some men also go through gender-based violence, but I'm talking about the women now. But you see things that are happening to women simply because this is the way I see it. The lives don't matter, not as much as the other thing. The lives don't matter as much as the family's honor. This not just about this book. Now, when we look at society, we find sometimes a girl is raped in the family or is abused in one way or the other by someone in the family. And rather than even the mother of the child, standing up against everything, against all odds, to fight for this child, some will say, shh, be quiet, don't say this out. How can everybody else, that's what I say, how can everybody else and everything else be more important than this girl, than this woman? How can a girl who has already been violated, a woman who's already been violated, then is violated again? Because that's what it is. When your family then betrays you, instead of standing up for you, fighting for you that to get justice, then feel that the family's honor is more important. The family's shame is more, the family not being put to shame is more important. What about the girl? What about the woman that it has happened to? How do you think she then feels? Counseling is not going to solve this. I'm not saying that justice will also take away how she feels, but she's got something back. The man who's responsible has then been punished, or is being punished. There are women today who have had to carry children that they didn't want, but they know who the father is, but it's been because of the circumstances that the pregnancy came about. They didn't want their whole being rejected this pregnancy, but they had no choice but to give birth because the family, well, it happened. They're pregnant by their father, by an uncle, by a relative, or they've been for years being violated in their own homes by someone close to the family, and yet they're not allowed to say anything about this outside of the house, outside of the family. Maybe the child is then raised as a brother, and they think, that the family's shame or the family's face cannot be more important. This Black Lives Matters, I think I'm going to make a t-shirt that says, female lives matter. We matter. We matter. We go through so many things already. This month, not today, but this October, which we're going in this week, is Cancer Awareness Month. And I'm thinking of so many kinds of, I'm not saying men don't have cancer, but so many kinds of cancer that women have. There's the breast cancer, there's ovarian cancer. There's so many things that women already go through. We've got our period, oh boy, the menstrual period, the pain that comes with menstrual period, giving birth, stretching your body to have a child. And yet, you are not allowed to get justice for certain things that it actually can be done. I think of that story in the Bible where was it Simon and his brother went to avenge their sister's rape. Okay, I'm not trying to incite violence, but and I'm not saying what they did was right by killing all the men, but somebody stood up. That's all we want sometimes. That's all we just want, someone to be on your side. Somebody stood up to say, no, not on my watch. Not on my watch. Women's life matter. Girls' life matter. Girls' life matter. You can't just throw us it's not just throw us with the dirty linen. We are not even the dirty linen. We are not. When adultery is committed, everybody talks about the woman. It's a two-way thing. It's a tango. It cannot be, you cannot commit adultery by yourself. But you never hear about the men, And I think it's all because it's laws made by men, and we're not fighting enough for ourselves. Moms, we need to stand up for our children. We need to believe our girls when they come to us. We need to say, I'm going to listen to you. And I'm going to bring this up. No matter what it costs, I'm going to bring it up. We need to fight for our girls. We also have the girls, the women who are defenseless, who cannot stand up for themselves, and we need to do it. Female lives matter. We are like an endangered species. And unfortunately for the earth, if we are not around, who's going to give birth? Even if you can store your sperm and you can store your eggs, who is going to be the incubator to fertilize it? Who is going to, when it's fertilized, who's going to carry it to term? We are so very necessary to earth. So very necessary. For some women, this is what they live with every day of their lives. Their opinions don't matter. Their bodies don't matter. Doesn't belong to them. We need to fight for ourselves. We need to fight for them. We need to speak up. We need to speak out. Not that I don't have anything else to say, but there's just so much going through my head, going through my mind. And this is just a book. This is why I don't read biographies and stuff, Because I don't even watch it, because it just makes me so... Nothing else to say. It's been Coffee with Temmi. Bye for now.